from Bishop Stephen.
Thank you, Kate. Sisters and brothers, I bring you greetings from all the faith communities of this land. Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, we are united here in saying that we have faith in God, but we have no faith in Trident. Trident is an affront to God and an affront to all that is decent. Why, as a nation, do we pat ourselves on the back about banning cluster bombs and chemical weapons while still allowing ourselves the useless luxury of a Trident missile? All these weapons are indiscriminate, all are deadly, and all are morally indefensible. Let me tell you, these weapons of mass destruction are also weapons of mass deception. They provide the illusion of security while actually making the world less secure. We see that North Korea now joins the nuclear club, and who will be next unless some nations take a stand? And we, the faith leaders and faith communities of this nation and across the world, the Pope himself, we implore our government and the nations of the world to stop commissioning new weapons and start decommissioning the ones we've got. Do we really think that Donald Trump's finger on the button is going to make the world a safer place? I don't think so. And when will we be told the truth about their cost, their unusability, their increasing detectability, and the many near misses and accidents that have happened over the years? These weapons of mass destruction are also weapons of mass distraction. We could and should be spending this money on schools and hospitals and on the refugee crisis which is engulfing Europe. Why? Even the military would rather spend this money on conventional weapons that would be of much greater use in the conflicts and peacemaking our world is involved in. Let us consign nuclear weapons along with cluster bombs to the dustbin of history. We are here today with all people of goodwill to become a movement of mass disruption. We need to patiently and peacefully and doggedly and determinedly show the world another way. We need to remind the world of the legal, moral, financial, and yes, even military reasons why nuclear weapons no longer have a place in our world. Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, theirs is the kingdom of heaven." And as the prophet Isaiah dreamed of swords being turned into plowshares, let us turn nuclear weapons into hospitals and schools. Why? And I speak as a bishop in the Church of England and a member of the House of Lords. You don't get more establishment than me. Why? Even the Church of England, not necessarily the most radical body one could imagine, in 2007 passed a motion saying that Trident is contrary to the obligations under international law that our country has signed up to. Other faith leaders have said more, but let me give the last word to Scripture. I want to quote to you from the prophet Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 7, and I'm doing my own slightly paraphrased version. How beautiful on the mountains, how beautiful on the streets of London, how beautiful here in Trafalgar Square, how beautiful in every village, town and city in our land are the feet of the messengers who announce peace. Sisters and brothers, have a little look at your feet. They are beautiful. They are beautiful because we have trod the streets of our city this day saying, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. We are glad to show solidarity with all people of goodwill and all those who long for peace. And now I invite my colleagues from the Methodist and Quaker communities to read out the statement of faith put together by faith leaders of all the faiths in this land.
Leaders across different faith traditions, Buddhist, Christian, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh and others, have found common cause on the critically important issue of nuclear weapons. What follows is a full text of the statement made last year by faith leaders and since supported by many members of faith groups. Nuclear weapons are by their nature indiscriminate in their effect. Any use of nuclear weapons would have devastating humanitarian consequences, be incompatible with international humanitarian law, and violate the principle of dignity for every human being that is common to each of our faith traditions. Our world faces many challenges, including oppressive poverty, climate change, violent extremism, and emerging national rivalry. Addressing these challenges requires strong relationships across nations, founded on mutual cooperation, trust, and shared prosperity. Security policies based on the threat of use of nuclear weapons are immoral and eventually self-defeating.
We must move beyond the division of our world into nuclear and non-nuclear weapon states and ensure that all states make good their commitments to negotiations on the universal, legally verifiable and enforceable elimination of nuclear weapons. We call on all nuclear weapon states, and that includes the UK, to join in this endeavour. We urge these states and the international community to develop a robust plan of action that will lead us to a world free of nuclear weapons.